Hey guys, for the past month or two, there have been rumors about WWE possibly creating their own cable network. Well, now we know that those rumors are in fact true, may become a reality. WWE just recently hired somebody to digitize their entire video library. So I don't know what exactly this channel would consist of. If they are going to do it, like showing classic matches and whatnot and classic moments, I don't think that would be a good idea at all, because if they did do that, we all know that everything is going to be edited for content, for violence, for sexuality, for language, for blood, and it's just going to be a whole mess. And they're just going to make a whole mess of any classic moments or matches that they show, so I hope they don't do that. So I don't know what the hell how they could possibly run a WWE network 24 hours a day, what they could put on it, but I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. It has been confirmed that TNA's Destination X pay-per-view will be an all X Division pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is going to will only feature X Division wrestlers, which I think is pretty cool. In Demand released a promotional blurb for it, and it says, "The past, present, and future collide when the young guns of TNA take center stage in an all X Division pay-per-view. TNA Wrestling presents Destination X live Sunday, March 21st, 2010 on pay-per-view." For those of you who don't know, in a few weeks, the Raw guest host will be none other than Cheech and Chong, which I think is going to be the worst, the most debacle of a show we will ever see in the history of television. So it's just I think it's just going to be a total disaster and a train wreck. But this is what is really weird. Don't expect much product familiarity on Cheech and Chong's part when they guest host Monday Night Raw in a few weeks. When the topic of WWE was brought up during a recent interview, they said they don't know anything about WWE other than the company requesting them for a date with their agents booking them. So, from the sounds of that, they have no clue. They know nothing about WWE. They don't even know what it is from the sounds of it, which is a little bizarre. Anyway, I think it's going to be a disaster, just like I think next week's Jerry Springer hosting the show is going to be a total disaster. It's going to be a horrible, horrible show, because you cannot have somebody like Jerry Springer hosting a PG, family-friendly Raw. What are they thinking? I really don't know what in God's name they are thinking, having Jerry Springer as a guest host. I don't know if they actually think that any kids are going to know who the hell he is or what the show is. It's just going to be a train wreck, I think. And same thing with the Cheech and Chong thing. You can't have these guys hosting Raw during the PG era. Supposed to be a family-friendly show. You can't have two guys who are professionals at making stoner movies and that are known for weed. That's what they're known for, is weed and comedy. You can't have those two guys hosting a Monday Night Raw that's supposed to be family friendly. It's stupid. It's going to be terrible. You can't. It's like combining Blue's Clues and The Sopranos. It's going to be atrocious. One thing I want to talk about in this fucking video: WWE has done it again. This past week on ECW, they have once again attempted to censor violence. I'm not going to say blood, because that was absolute bullshit. It was bullshit. There was no fucking blood. They stopped a match because in a no disqualification match between Shelton Benjamin and Vance Archer, whoever the fuck that is, on an ECW this past week, no disqualification, no count-out match, and Shelton Benjamin gets a fucking scratch on his forehead, and they stop the match dead in its tracks and have that motherfucking doctor come in there and start wiping his head and acting like, "Oh God, we gotta clean up the blood, clean up the mess, clean up the invisible blood." it was just so stupid and bullshit. And then those fucking announcers, that Matt Stryker and that son of a bitch. Oh my god. He was like, oh, this isn't ballet. It's supposed to be. I wonder what they think the word extreme stands for. I'd really be curious to see what WWE thinks extreme stands for, and what the letters ECW stand for. Oh god, it drives me fucking crazy. It boggles my mind, and yet those stupid motherfuckers. All right, right now, if any of you watching this video, if anybody watching this video was at the SmackDown and ECW tapings this past Tuesday, I hate you. Not one person. There were no boos in that entire fucking crowd. Not one boo. Not one fuck you. Not one chant of any kind. No boos, nothing. They didn't care. They let the doctor come in there and stop the match for 30 seconds, 30 some odd seconds, stop the match, and then, oh god. And not one boo. Not one. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen by not having any response to this shit that WWE tries to feed you? What do you think is going to happen? Nothing. Nothing is going to change if you don't say anything about it. If you don't boo the shit out of them. Boo them out of the goddamn arena. Yet nobody did anything. Not one boo in that entire building. Not one. If you don't show them how much, you have to show them how much you hate it and how stupid it is. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing it either way. They're going to keep doing it whether you like it or not. If you don't show them that you don't like it, oh god. You know what I'm going to do? One day, I'm going to buy a front row fucking ticket to some kind of show. I'm going to wait for the next ladder match, TLC match, some kind of brutal match that's supposed to be brutal. I'm going to wait for someone to get busted open. I'm going to stay in the front row. I'm going to wait for that fucking doctor, and I'm going to take out a gun and when you're at the show, when you could actually show them your displeasure, you do nothing. That makes a lot of sense. And then there's going to be people coming on here complaining about the PG era and complaining about no blood. If you're not going to say anything about it, if you're not going to do anything about it, then don't bitch and piss and moan about it. How hard is that to get through your thick skulls? I'm not talking about everybody out there. I know there's actually still people out there that care about the wrestling product that they're watching. Yeah, I know there's still some stupid assholes out there that'll just watch it and say, oh, that's so stupid. And then just keep, just like, oh, whatever, man. And then just sit there and just forget about it. And just ignore it. Or they'll just stop watching wrestling altogether, stop watching WWE. That's not the answer. There's other ways to go about it. If you care about the company enough, and if you care about pro wrestling enough, you can at least try and do something about it. And keep doing it until things change. And if things don't change, keep doing it, whether they like it or not. You can make 1 million fucking videos about it. And I'm telling you right now, from now on, every time WWE does any kind of edit, any kind of bullshit edit, or any kind of censoring of any blood, or any violence, or any language, I'm going to make a video about it. And I'm going to come bitch my head off. I'm going to keep doing it. Forever. Forever and ever. And nobody can stop me. Because if you don't like what they're doing, then just sitting there and taking it like a bitch is not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. If people don't boo in the audience, then WWE is just going to keep doing it. If it's a big deal to you, show them that it's a big deal to you. Show them. If you go to a WWE show, make like a fucking sign, and then fucking hold it up. That's another thing that boggles my mind, is that people bring these signs that are not offensive at all, and that you hear these stories about security taking the signs away and confiscating them. And yet I haven't heard any stories about somebody refusing to let them take the signs. I get my fuse lit fairly easily. I get mad fairly easily. I would not let them take my sign. If I made a sign that said something that was against WWE PG or something like that, or that said like family friendly with like the circle with the line through it, the censor thing, and then they tried to confiscate it, I wouldn't let them. I would not let them. I would make as big a scene as I possibly could if they tried to confiscate my sign. Because unless my sign has some kind of racial slur or some kind of... Unless I bring a sign that has a giant swastika on it, or unless I bring a sign that has a picture of Osama bin Laden on it, then you're not taking my fucking sign. They're basically saying, oh, if you're not down with the PG era, we got 2 words for you. Suck it. That's all I wanted to talk about for this video. If I get any more info on this stuff or anything else, I'll let you guys know. Peace.